My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. Notice: intellectual property theft is particularly egregious and equally unlawful where the sole inventor and creator of the intellectual property is the targeted individual. Erica Lorraine Spencer, subject to the unconstitutional and inhumane government system of gang stalking, otherwise referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices, because of which the intellectual property created by the targeted individual, who is, in fact, Erica Lorraine Spencer, as the intellectual property also proves, serves to establish via evidence and expose the existence of criminal surveillance and thus an inherent threat posed by the U.S. government and the civilian population sharing engagement in the unlawful system. Such evidence that includes all of the content created by Erica Lorraine Spencer, images, videos, audio, etc., belongs solely and entirely to Erica Lorraine Spencer only and is necessarily published online in order to protect her life, safety, and liberty as the targeted individual, who is also the intellectual property owner, no less protected from theft procured through targeting by a public entity. Theft of any intellectual property belonging to Erica Lorraine Spencer, which is necessarily committed while she, being both creator and inventor, remains oppressed by the public entity via criminal surveillance, is a criminal and inhumane means of infringement under all circumstances and not protected nor enforceable pursuant to any invalid or fraudulent acts of copyright, trademarks, patents, etc., including as it pertains to any ideas associated with or generated from the intellectual property or the intellectual property owner, Erica Lorraine Spencer, whether creative, business, or otherwise, nor does the intellectual property owner consent to any such means of infringement and theft. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C, and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. Alrighty, it is currently 9:06 a.m. This is all relevant positioning. Okay, as I move, the people move. All right, and it's not a ludicrous song, it's gang stalking, and it's demonic activity, and it's all state action. That's psychotic. Opening, closing, coming out, doing it pursuant to what is also vagina monitoring. Doing so in what is engineer light, not sunlight. I've already documented my presence walking to this venue during the 7 a.m. hour. I've documented before 2026 present and the fake sun that you're going to see right now at 9:06 a.m. revealing the gang stalkers that are the Upland Police gang stalking me in the city of Ontario as the entity, the U.S. government that's engaged in federal group stalking, monitoring, furtherance of murder with this entity, the sex offenders who are the people of the state. 8 RWP 340 is stalking as a state, molesting with impossible light under the fake sun, and that's not a stranger. She comes here to engage in that state action and is doing so in furtherance of murder. And at 9:06 a.m., the Upland Police are engaging in the same thing with a vehicle that represents what is the government, which is communicating a threat by virtue of seeing that logo. Those demons that are engaging what is stalking by science proven, because the sun is not over 537 North Euclid Avenue, the bus stop, where the entity was rising the fake sun, not anymore when I'm not sleeping there, but that's where the entity is stalking as a population, and it's not going to be over coin laundry, okay? This is San Antonio at the same time. Neither could it ever be over coin laundry because the entity is keeping the fake sun off of C Street, where the OVITT Family Community Library is, okay? 2 blocks south of where the fake sun is rising, where Upland Police are gang stalking me at the same time as I documented where they're coming from behind the bus stop, tracking my steps like this demon is, getting out the vehicle as I walk through. They're stalking inside of the laundromat. They're molesting with engineer light that's flying all about. They're doing so pursuant to what is surveillance. And the demon possessed are those that are in government and those that are identified under the law as the people of the state. The people of the state are to be federally prosecuted for criminal surveillance as domestic terrorists. The people of the state are not one to be defended typically like a district attorney would. The people of the state are the criminal, okay? They are terrorists in the U.S. and they're engaging in what is a government system. It is currently, by the way, 9:08 a.m. and the entity kept that fake sun as I documented over that corner of F Street and Euclid, and that is not over what is the coin laundry. A very particular and precise placement. Not only where the Ontario police are stalking me by helicopter as I documented, the government's maintaining ongoing aerial surveillance, keeping my vagina under surveillance as well. I'm going to prosecute the government. In fact, a proven sex offender. Impossible light moves across. That's a demon. That's not sunlight. And that's not the sun. What are Upland Police under? That's the prosecution of those demons in that Upland Police vehicle, 8THB 245. And they're stalking you with the government. And they're immigrants in this country. They're being deported. They're immigrants in this country engaging in that. The audacity. And the government has the audacity. The images I just took on this phone, you'll see the entity stalking me by helicopter. I'm documenting them while they're stalking as an entity. The state is maintaining surveillance while CMAX is patrolling around the perimeter. That's light activity. City of Ontario, audible activity, presence around the path, leaning on the posts under the fake sun. The entity is maintaining this pattern of conduct while I'm reminding you about what's happening at the bus stop under the 9:06 a.m. fake sun, where Upland Police is in the City of Ontario, gang stalking me with the City of Ontario outside of their district, because that's how important my vagina monitoring my vagina is. Mike LORENZ is Chief of Vagina Monitors. This is Jay Montez. He's going to federal prison. The entity is stalking with the people, 8 ERW 515, and impossible light sweeps across the venue. They are stalking and monitoring together, and they're demons alike. The difference is, you see that light on that vehicle? That's not sunlight. And that's a stalker who's engaged in surveillance with these stalkers. 6VBB 495, and the fake sun's reflecting off the back windshield. This is a demon, vehicle 1034, who's engaging in terrorism while the entity flies over by helicopter, engaging in psychological torture, and Jay Montez looking unbothered. He's going to federal prison. That's the P.O.C. It is currently, by the way, it is 9:40 p.m. and they are stalking by helicopter, prolonged psychopathic pacing at the Ontario Town Square, which I put on Facebook Live while they were monitoring. And this is a demon that wants to act as though he's very unbothered. Oh, they're very much triggered by what I put on the internet. That's why the entity is stalking by helicopter. Jay Montez is engaged in what is terrorism right now and psychological torture, which is a documented pattern by Mike LORENZ and that entire agency that commits kidnappings under what is the specific environment where you are stalking, proven by science and proven by the behavioral pattern. The people of the state engaging in what is gang stalking me on behalf of this agency that's being disbanded. Jay Montez is what you also need to know is a psychopath. And this is the removal of Polyon 8VMR 966.
doesn't have to say anything to you. Impossible light, serving the system of gang stalking, which the kidnappers and murderers and vagina monitors are being disbanded for. It is currently, while I'm at B Street, 9:41 a.m. The City of Ontario 70620B1 is serving the criminal system, using what are the resources of the city again, and so are the Ontario Police, to engage in criminal surveillance. It's activity creation. And this is why you'll see on the phone, I captured moments earlier, just seconds ago, and I wanted to confirm it with video, because this is going on the YouTube channel on the website, regarding video footage where I'm at 127 B Street, and what is the people of the state maintaining surveillance behind me. That's all she's doing is pacing. Maintaining surveillance. I documented all the license plates by here. The fake son moves to the opposite side of this building. The fake son remaining over me at the Coin Laundry. The entity engaging in what is stalking me throughout the neighborhood. And so is Jay Montez, who's engaging in surveillance, while all of the people of the state, including the Ontario International Airport, Amazon Prime, stalking me through the neighborhood, engaging in cartwheels while Jay Montez is maintaining surveillance, monitoring on devices, stalking me while helicopter activity is the ongoing pattern, the hallmark. He's going to federal prison. Jay Montez is engaging in, I want to be clear, that same nonchalant demeanor, psychopathic conduct. That's how nonchalant they are with regard to murder and kidnapping as well. But that's a psychopath that's trying to maintain emotional neutrality while he is caught engaging in what is stalking. And being federally prosecuted is not going to be based on what is your seemingly temperament, okay? It's relevant with regard to what comes out of your mouth. Obviously, you're going to analyze a stalker, but you can keep a stone cold face all you want. You're going to prison. They are stalking. They're proven to be stalking, and the fact that they're stalking in a conspicuous manner with the people of the state, with helicopter. This is where Jay Montez is engaging in that, acting like you're unfazed. You can act like whatever you want and keep that same attitude in front of the federal judge, who sees the clear disregard and the nonchalant, indifferent behavior with regard to engaging in that criminal pattern of conduct. That's the P.O.C. Jay Montez has been engaged in what is surveillance. I've been documenting while the entity is following me around street for street, turn for turn. As I'm walking through the neighborhood, and it's 9:40. The entity is keeping the fake sun while I am remaining at the bus stop at 537 North Euclid Avenue, keeping it over me while I am in a clearly distinct location, such as remaining at the Stater Brothers parking lot, where this is not creating my shadow right behind me, where these demons are stalking with impossible light, which doesn't even have anything to do with the fake sun, and it is evidence of them targeting as an entity. 9RFY184, stalking on the roads and the highways, replete with engineer light, and Jay Montez is going to prison for it. He is why the youth are engaged in gang violence. They aid in sexual violence and criminal activity and furtherance of murder, serving this corrupt system. And the Ontario Police are being disbanded for it. Jay Montez is another that's going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. The Ontario Police are being dismembered one by one. That department is not only being disbanded, but every single last one of them that are engaging in stalking me in this manner that I've been documenting for years are going to federal prison. License 7JCD317. And all of their documented criminal acts are going to be used against them, and you will see, as the federal courts will see, but the world's going to see when you look at what they're doing in that environment, and you're looking at what are psychopaths that maintain an outward demeanor as though nothing is happening and they're unaffected, but you're stalking me by helicopter for 25 minutes, you're very triggered. You're a psychopath, and you're cowards. They just don't want to be seen as such, and it's already known. It's already known that Mike LORENZ is a chief of vagina monitors. He's not a police chief. This is P.O.C. This is stalking by the people who are going to be federally prosecuted with regard to the state of California's pattern of conduct. This is P.O.C. It is currently 9:44 a.m. This is subservience to the system. And they are the demon-possessed as well. This is the Nephilim. APTCO24, 9NDZ795. That's how they have the impossible light traveling across buildings while you're driving a car. And then they want to be seen as sane, innocent, having nothing to do with the pattern of conduct in a courtroom, and it's untenable. Untenable. The engineer light is running beside the vehicle. These are demons. Demons that drive commercial vehicles, demons that are working for the city, demons that are in positions of authority that they're going to be snatched out of. License 8ZMK478. And this is serving the system that Jay Montez has been maintaining. He's been gang stalking me and keeping me under surveillance and relevant for Amazon Prime, targeting me by plane, for the people of the state engaging in surveillance, harassing me while I'm documenting them, while they're gang stalking me with this department. They're going to federal prison. The Ontario Police Department are the reason for it. They're responsible for it. They're being disbanded, and Jay Montez is going to federal prison. This is another one that's going to prison, P.O.C.
All right, this is a reminder regarding the video that you just listened to. This is video evidence regarding the City of Ontario, as Jay Montez of the Ontario Police and the Ontario Police via helicopter are stalking at B Street in between Euclid Avenue and I believe Laurel, doing so under that fake sun. If you'll recall the evidence, Jay Montez and the Ontario Police Department, this is seconds ago, so my evidence is chronological, the entirety of the picture. I put video documentation up for the irreplaceable value of seeing the live footage of terrorism, criminal activity by a government, mental illness closeted, intentionally and maliciously concealed by psychopathic murderers and sex offenders and kidnappers who are masquerading as police departments and masquerading as normal everyday people. That's the people of the state, and they're all demon possessed. This is the value of that video documentation, and what you're going to be mindful of is there is unmistakable evidence, and Jay Montez can maintain that ongoing stoic presence in that uniform, in that vehicle, at that block, under that fake sun, in concert with the entity, with that helicopter, engaging in what is ongoing stalking in furtherance of murder, with the intent to psychologically torture, terrorize, harass, and threaten. While I'm in the process of documenting when the entity is engaging in its ongoing stalking, the methods that the entity is engaging in stalking, such as in a police vehicle, wearing a uniform, bearing a badge and weapons, representing some sense of authority, stalking in such manners is an intentional threat. And it's not accidentally, it is designed to occur with regard to what is targeting an American citizen that is not equipped with the evidence. Understand that Jay Montez, with his stoic facial expressions or not, is going to be juxtaposed with the ongoing erratic, anxious, psychotic pacing conduct of that same department last night at the Ontario Town Square, with the ongoing stalking on a ceaseless basis by helicopter in a specific environment in a city where the sun is both rising and setting. That's impossible. Also, on the block where the fake sun is remaining, he's under the fake sun during the 9 a.m. hour at approximately 9:39, 9:40 a.m. Recall my documentation inside of the OVITT Family Community Library, where I am right now, and they are sharing in ongoing criminal activity, which Jay Montez is proven to be committing in concert with an entity. While he's in my path and I document him, this entity is maintaining presence, and Jay Montez is stalking under a fake sun while in a position as a corrupt police officer that is threatening my life and safety, including while stalking me in concert with that department, his partner stalking me by helicopter. Okay, they're engaging what is tag teaming in psychopathic criminal activity, which the government surmises an American citizen is going to be overwhelmed by and succumb to with regard to psychological harm, and also the entity that intends and conspires murder and kidnapping. Jay Montez is under the fake sun at 9:40 a.m. and Jay Montez is in relevant position to the OVITT Family Community Library where the fake sun is remaining, as I documented, in alignment to me inside of the depths of the library where I'm sitting at the computer, where a stalker is aware of where I sit and wants to sit next to me, stalking in the path. Regardless, it's stalking wherever they sit, they're all stalking. But the entity is doing so while the fake sun is still present. Where Jay Montez is present at B Street and Laurel, it's still present in alignment to me at 5:10 p.m. at the OVITT Family Community Library, which is impossible light activity. And so while that fake sun indoors, shining through the entrance doors, not only is it hovering, it's bright and shining and radiant, and I document that because Jay Montez is indeed going to federal prison, where every gang stalking police officer is going to be placed, in addition to having what is routine mental examinations. Mental examinations are very much relevant to that stoic disposition that he is so painstakingly trying to maintain while he is engaging in criminal activity. The entity is engaging in that, and it's only persuasive absent the P.O.C, the evidence of what is proving a stalker is a stalker. The entity is engaging in this while that evidence is what you're going to be mindful of, and that's what I wanted to note. While you're looking at his facial expressions, while you're hearing me litigate in that video, he's going to federal prison, but I also want to remind you about the fake sun that's still present. Let's see, let's count together. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 hours later, while I'm inside of the OVITT Family Community Library, which is on the opposite side of the same street, at 5:10 p.m., where everybody inside of the OVITT Family Community Library is thereby incriminated. That is a conviction by everybody that's gang stalking with Jay Montez in that department as well. Okay, this is the ongoing pattern of conduct, and Jay Montez is indeed going to prison, and his mental illness is also thereby established by evidence, meaning the material to diagnose, which is exactly what professionals who are law-abiding and actually authorized under the law, who are not engaging in what are targeting and not engaging in what is abuse of the medical field, that are going to diagnose him. And they're going to diagnose every gang stalking police officer who are closeted psychopaths. Their mental illness and their criminal activity is not a secret, and they are going to federal prison. It is currently 10:15 a.m. OVITT Family Community Library is maintaining the elements of monitoring. The entity is engaging in that with ongoing malice. Jay Montez is a vagina monitor, and Mike LORENZ is chief of vagina monitors. Jay Montez is going to prison. Okay, that's P.O.C. It is Friday, February 13, 2026.